Hey, I'm Sam Swenson. I'm the dietitian here today. What's your name?
My name's Callie.
Callie? It's nice to
Yes.
meet you.
Nice to meet you.
Have you ever seen a dietitian before?
I have not.
Never before.
No.
Cool deal. So, what can I help you with today?
So I am struggling to gain weight.
You're struggling to gain weight.
Yes.
Um, have you been struggling with that for a while?
Feel like maybe last year.
Last year? Okay. As far as like gaining weight, have you lost a bunch of weight?
I feel like I was a little bit heavier, not heavier, but I was at a healthier weight maybe 2 or 3 years ago.
Yeah.
And I was at a good weight where I felt really strong, and now I feel like I can't gain weight when I want to try to gain weight.
How long have you been trying to gain weight?
Probably the last 9 months.
Last 9 months? Yeah. Well, why do you want to gain more weight?
Well, I think it will help. I like to work out.
Like to work out?
So I think gaining a little bit more weight will help me lift more.
Okay.
And I think it will maybe help prevent some injuries I'm having. And I think gaining a little weight might help with my hormones a little bit, get a little bit more regular.
Yeah.
Because I feel like when I was a little heavier, I was having normal cycles and I just felt better.
Yeah. So gaining weight gave you more energy, made you feel better, and you feel like you weren't having as much injuries.
Yeah.
Okay. So have you tried anything to gain weight yet?
Eat more.
Eat
I'll
more,
try to
yeah.
track for like a day and then it doesn't.
Okay, so that's good that you tried. I mean, starting for one day is better than not doing anything at all,
Yeah.
right? That's really cool. So, what about tracking what about tracking was appealing, and what made you not do it again after a day?
I think I like tracking because I was able to really see how much I was and wasn't eating
Yeah.
most days. But then it's like I'd forget after a day or something. And I'm
Yeah.
like, oh, I have to go back and log everything. And then I would just forget about it. Be like, well, if I
Yeah.
just eat enough, it shouldn't matter if I track or not.
Yeah.
You know?
So tracking was frustrating when you weren't consistent with it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Have you ever tracked one day, not tracked a day, then went back to it the next day? Or did you just start one day and then kind of after a day you didn't do it, you just didn't go back?
I just didn't go back.
Didn't go
I
back.
didn't like
Yeah.
skipping a day, so I just give up.
Gotcha. Okay. Okay. Well, tracking's a good place to start. What else have you tried?
I'm just trying to eat more at meals.
Eat more at meals?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Double portions.
Is that a struggle?
Yeah. I just don't feel like I can eat as much as I used to in general.
Yeah.
And I just don't really have an appetite either.
Really?
As like I used to. I feel like
How long do you feel like you've had less of an appetite?
Probably like over a year.
Over a year?
Or so, yeah.
Have you had any big changes in your life since a year ago that might have caused you to have this less appetite and made you have this, issue where you've struggled to gain weight?
Well, I'm not in school anymore, so I have to cook a lot more myself. And I also don't sleep very well. I have sleep apnea, so I don't know if that makes me not have an appetite.
Okay. What else do you think?
I don't know.
Okay, so you cook at home a lot,
Mm-hmm.
and you said you struggle with sleep apnea.
Mm-hmm.
Now, with cooking at home a lot more, do you feel like you eat what you would consider to be healthier meals in comparison to when you didn't cook at home as much?
I think so. When I like lived at school, had food all the time, like the cafeteria and Chick-fil-A.
Yeah.
But I also wasn't working out as much, so I was able to hold on to weight easier.
Okay. And do you feel like you're working out more now than you used to? Or in the past year, since you've wanted to gain weight, do you feel like you've worked out more since then, or do you feel like you work out less since then?
I feel like I work out less, maybe.
Yeah. What's your workout routine look like now?
I go to the gym every day at about 4:30, and I do CrossFit, so it's a lot of. I mean, it's like Olympic weightlifting and cardio.
That's exciting.
But I don't know if it's since I'm not working out as much or as hard. Maybe I don't have as big of an appetite, or maybe I'm not able to work out as much and as hard because I don't have an appetite.
Okay. So do you feel like you feel like you have this cycle to where you don't work out as hard, and you don't have as much of an appetite, and then you might not be working out as hard because you don't have an appetite?
Yeah.
And because you're not eating as much?
Yeah.
Okay.
Or I'm maybe not able to do the things I used to do because I'm not as strong.
Okay. What kind of things were you used to able? What kind of things were you used to be able to do versus now?
I just feel like I was able to lift a lot more. I feel like I looked bigger, like strength, muscular wise. Yeah.
So
I feel like my knees and joints didn't hurt as much.
Yeah. Do you feel like your joints hurt more now since you haven't been eating as much?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah. What kind of specific joint pains have you had?
Lots of knee problems and shoulder problems.
Knee problems and shoulder problems. And did that start just about a year ago?
Yeah, probably. Yeah.
Okay. And with gaining weight, you mentioned that you looked bigger. You mentioned that you were stronger. Mm-hmm. So would you say that gaining weight isn't the only goal, but possibly like gaining muscle and gaining strength in the gym?
Yeah.
Okay. Cool deal. So I like that you started with tracking, right? We could kind of touch on that again and not even make it. We could try that again, and instead of just one day, shoot for 2 days in a row, right? And that's already twice as much as you did before, right? I mean, you could shoot for 1 week, and that could just give me some insight on okay, are you eating a lot one day, less the next day, and then from then on out, we could possibly look into some higher calorie foods to include in your meals. Mm-hmm. Would you be open to something like that? Mm-hmm. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Well, cool deal.
I feel like I eat pretty clean most of the time, and so probably most of the food that I do eat is pretty low calorie.
Yeah.
And I'm not eating a ton.
So what does clean eating look like to you?
Lots of veggies, meats. Mm-hmm. We don't eat out a ton.
Yeah.
I don't eat a lot of junk food.
Okay.
Chocolate, pastries, stuff like that. So.
Why do you avoid those foods? Is it because, just tell me, why do you avoid those foods?
I don't necessarily avoid them. I don't really crave them as often as I used to. Mm-hmm. And I typically don't buy them for the house because I'm scared I might eat them all in mm-hmm. one setting if I buy them from the house. But I do eat, it's not like I deprive myself of them.
Yeah. Okay. So you still have them sometimes, but you avoid buying them so you can't binge eat them.
Yeah.
Okay. I gotcha. When you buy sweets and those junk foods and higher calorie foods for the house, do you find yourself eating more than normal when you do that?
Not really. I feel like I'm pretty good at eating just one or something.
Yeah, okay. So you do buy them sometimes, but sparingly. You try to avoid it so you can't, just to avoid the risk of possibly going overboard.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I gotcha. So we could reintroduce. Would you be open to reintroducing some of those foods? I mean, the ones that you enjoy, right, into your diet a little more. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, not going overboard, but maybe just sparingly introducing them.
Yeah, but aren't they bad? Shouldn't I not be eating them at all?
It depends on what you enjoy and how much. I think a little bit of everything's okay, right? And especially in your case, gaining weight, right? You told me that eating more is a good idea, right? So we could introduce some of these sparingly into your day, right, throughout the week, and possibly give yourself, instead of saying I won't have these no matter at all, right? You could say I'll have one piece a day, right? And then, or only when you're craving it, right? How does that sound to you?
That sounds good.
Do you have any other ideas that might help with gaining weight or be more consistent with eating more?
Do you think if I just force myself to eat more, I'll be hungry for more and get my appetite back?
Tell me about when you say forcing yourself to eat. What do you mean?
Like if I try to finish my whole plate at dinner, or if I try to eat, I don't know, like maybe make a few bigger portions to maybe make my appetite bigger.
Yeah.
Do you think I'm suppressing my own appetite by eating smaller? Like, can you really shrink your stomach if you eat less?
I would say it depends. So, what do you think? Do you think eating more meals through the day would be better for you? Do you think eating less meals but bigger meals would be better for you? You know, which one do you think sounds better?
Probably more meals throughout the day, because eating a big meal like at one sitting is kind of exhausting for me.
Sounds like a lot, right?
Yeah.
Okay, that's cool. Because if you're getting really full from these meals and it's hard to eat a lot because you don't have much of an appetite, then it could be a good idea to just spread more meals throughout the day. You know, I mean, you're eating more often, but you're not feeling like you have to have this burden of eating so much food. How does that sound?
That sounds good.
Sounds pretty good. So we talked about your goal to gain weight, right? Because you mentioned how it made you feel stronger, felt more you felt more muscular, you liked how you looked, you felt more confident, you felt more energetic, and you didn't have as much injuries, right? And you just felt better for the gym, right? And the gym's something you care about quite a bit, right? So with that, I mean, we can move forward with trying out tracking. You know, not in the long term, but we could try tracking, and we could try introducing some of your, you know, higher calorie snacks into your diet, you know, here and there, right? And possibly looking into eating more meals throughout the day. Does that sound like a good idea to you?
Yeah, that sounds good.
Cool deal. I think that's a great place to start, and we can begin with that.
Okay.
Cool deal.
Sounds good.